Alright, so today we're out here on the dump truck. Last week I was running, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 miles back and forth to the rock place. And I was filling up with some gas. And I looked, anyways, I was getting some fuel, walked around, and seen that it had several drips underneath the front drive third member. So I paid attention. I pulled it under the lean-to that night, and it left that first little puddle. And then I made one more trip the next day, and it's been sitting here for today's Sunday, so it's been sitting here since Friday, and it's leaked that one big pile right there. It's probably not that much. It looks like it's a huge amount, but you know, maybe it's a quarter cup of oil. But if you keep driving like that, you'll run it dry. So anyways, today I'm going to power wash it. We're going to pull the front third member out. It's probably leaking out of the bolt holes. It's probably some of the problem. It might have, I'm sure it's just RTV. It's just got a leak somewhere. So we're going to power wash it and pull it and inspect it basically and put it all back together before we have bigger problems. Here we go. So I saved you all the power washing and all that. Cleaned it up real good, went and drove it, pulled it into the shop, and it's leaking out of the bottom of the housing, right at the bottom. So I'm not going to get lucky and be able to just pull the bolts out, put some sealer in there. So we'll drain it and pull it. Not really looking forward to it. These are really awkward, really heavy. Might have to recruit me some help before the day's over. So we'll drain it and get to pulling the bolts and drive shafts. Here comes the mess. Ooh. We'll let that drain for a while. I'll pull the drive shafts out and carry on. Alright, so on these drive shafts, when you pull them out, I had this one built not too long ago. So you want to kind of mark it. And the way it goes back together. Because they balance them as one piece. I guess you got a 50-50 shot of put it in there right or wrong. But anyways, we'll drop the drive shaft out, start figuring out what kind of floor jack deal we're going to make. That's the hardest part about these, is the balancing it, and they're really heavy. And with this cross brace on here, you can't really run a chain. If I pulled it outside, that's how I did the back ones. I pulled it outside, raised the bed all the way up. On a straight truck, it's a lot easier because you don't have to deal with the bed, obviously. But with this cross brace right here, it's going to be a little more difficult. So we'll see how it happens. Maybe I'll get lucky, be able to leave it up in there. So I got my transmission jack adjusted where I think it needs to go. So I'm gonna take these bolts out that I can't get to while it's in here. And that was loose. And this may be why it's leaking at the bottom. Probably so. But they're all leaking. That's a short one. I'm sure they make some kind of special jack for this. This ain't it. Well, it's asphalt. I feel sorry for the guys that work on these all the time. Seems like every time I do something with this, I'm dealing with it. Hell, that one's finger tight. It's actually pretty common. This asphalt gets everywhere, and it don't hardly ever come off here easy. It'll be stacked up in every little crevice. Everywhere. Oh, one of them's tight. There it goes. It's coming off there really easy, which kind of scares me. Seems pretty stable. So I went ahead and put the strap around it because there's a lot of weight hanging off the back side of that. The ring and pinion and everything's hanging off the end of it. I think it's trying to tip. So we'll go ahead, try to pull it on out. I think it'll be fine. I'm gonna get way out of the way. Oh, wait a second. Oh, what did we hit? Oh, we're hitting something. Oh. That's not it. Huh. I'm sitting at the bottom. Alright, jack it up a little bit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm trying not to get too rowdy with this because this thing hits the floor, it's going to be really hard to deal with. It's hitting on something here, which means this is going to make it really hard to put back together. I need to tip it backwards. Oh, moment of truth. Oh, there it is. Hit the drain top. Bullseye. Perfect. Should be far enough away. Woo! Look at all them magnets. That's a lot of metal. So I got it moved over to the side. And the problem with most of these are these holes. They're called open holes. And so if you don't put good thread sealer or RTV on there, the oil runs out through the threads, and I think that's what was going on right here. It was leaking because after I power washed it, I went and drove it. It was leaking like right here, and I probably could have just drained the oil out of it, pulled it out, put a bunch of RTV in there, run it back in there, and it might have fixed it, might have not. But there's a good chance it wouldn't have, because there's no RTV here at all. And there's none, doesn't appear to be any on the bottom of the housing. So maybe when they was putting it in here, they had it in bottom, whatever reason. So I need to clean these threads out real good and get all this RTV off here. And these magnets have to be scraped and cleaned off. And then, like I say, I'm going to inspect the gears and make sure there's nothing wrong with it. More than likely, somebody did a shitty job when they put this, because like I say, this one's got, you can tell it's been just come out of a salvage because it had the model and gear ratio on it. So the old one went out, they slopped this one in there. Maybe they didn't clean the tube out very good, and this is, you know, residual that spinning around in there. Everything else seems to be pretty good. So I'll clean all this up. I'll clean all this up real good and bring you back. Alright, so I got it all cleaned up. We're just gonna put some gray on here. You don't have to put a whole bunch. It's a machine finish. Looked like it's been run loose because this is, the machining's almost gone. The truck's got 1,300,000 on it, so she ain't what she used to be. Plenty of coverage. Should be fine. It'll take me a minute to get that stab back in here for sure. Do it. Let's see if we can get it in here. No way. So it looks like it's hitting on the input shaft. I don't know how much this you're gonna be able to see. I'm gonna try and cheat. Put one of these long bolts, get it started. It's kind of a pilot, maybe. Sure be easier with two people. I'm trying to use that for the guide. It's already got studs on this side, so this will hold this side in place. Okay. Now, it's about like stabbing a tranny. You just got to make it level all the way around. Wiggle the input shaft in, and it should go. So I got all my bolts cleaned up with a wire wheel. Brake clean, got them real clean. I'm gonna put some RTV on here, and then I'm gonna hand tighten them. And the battery is just, I got 6% left, so it's fixing to die. But I really need to get these started because that RTV behind there is starting to really set up. I don't have enough time to go in the house and play with batteries. So, but before I done all that, I went ahead and tightened it all up. Put Loctite on these top 3 nuts. Tighten it all up. I'm fixing to put the drive shaft back in it. Probably not gonna video that. It's pretty redundant. Pretty simple. I'll go ahead and pull the axles and clean all this up. Put some more RTV on it. Put it back together. Fill it full of oil. And shit all over my face. Fill it full of oil and back it out of here. I'm not gonna video all that. Looks like I need to go wash my face. And I got, you know, this ain't opening right. It's like binding up. I don't deal with that. Oh, and the, you know, in case you want to go get you a dump truck. The other day I was driving it. You definitely, I can get my light. Anyways, the airbag, the shock popped off the stand, started rubbing the airbag, rubbed a hole in the airbag. So now I got to fix that too. So we'll get the oil back in it so at least we can use it. If you don't have a good transmission jack or some way of holding that third member up, you're gonna have to buy one. I mean, that's the biggest thing about working on equipment is having the tools to do so. But in my case, if I'd have took it to a shop, they would have had it for a week, maybe 2. Everybody around here is all my friends are 2-3 weeks out on the working on just about anything. So that's the best part about me working. It's really bugging me. Really working on my own stuff is not, some of the stuff you do is not that expensive to have somebody do it, but it's a downtime. I need this to move the dozer tomorrow. I need it to move dirt Tuesday and Wednesday. So, you know, unless you got some other jobs you can line up where you don't need that piece of equipment, that's fine, but it's just me, so that's not the case. So anyways, I'll put the drive shaft back in it, pour some oil in it. See you on the next one.